Well, if you haven't seen, Steve Bannon is on a nice rampage. He is indeed the honey badger. And there's something that he said amidst a number of F-bombs displayed next to Charlie Kirk and Jack Posobiec at Student Action Summit, the Turning Point event. We're going to talk about all of it in just a moment. I, of course, am Joshua Lisec. This is Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, a ghostwriter of more than 100 books now, and a certified hypnotist. Through this unique set of experiences, I better teach you how to influence the VIPs in your life and in your career. Steve Bannon says that this is in the context, of course, of the Epstein list, the Epstein memo from Pam Blondie, we're calling her now, ironically, in which it was pointed out via what Jack had just said. So in this interview on the War Room show, so Jack had just said that because mainstream journalists aren't asking the administration about Epstein, it seems like, oh, okay, well, that's way on down on the list of priorities. No, Jack said, the Epstein situation should be the first priority, the second priority, the third, fourth, fifth priority. That is how significant this is. The most prolific CSA organization in world history, and not a single person but one or two have faced any consequences of it. And we're supposed to say, there was no blackmail, there's no recordings, there's no Epstein list. When we said list, we actually meant folder. When we meant folder, it was just information that was already publicly known from the press. Axios reported that Dan Bongino confronted Pam Blondie over this, so go Dan. He would very much so be channeling the American people's energy. And then amidst those F-bombs, you know what Steve Bannon said? Steve Bannon said that Epstein is the symbol of who really governs us. Exactly. Now, I want you to zoom out from this story to look at the meta, right? There's this situation happening that is not great. Men like Jack and Steve are making it important, perpetually reminding us just how important it is. And using the language of not just the first most important thing, but the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. That's technique. Very good technique. Bannon with the F-bombs, getting the crowd all worked up, showing how important this is. And then allowing us to sort of place the Epstein story in our minds, as opposed to, it's this problem over here, but we have other things to worry about, like the illegal immigration. Stay on track, they all go back, as we like to say. But he says, no, Epstein is the symbol of who really governs us. That is profound. And it also allows us to reframe Donald J. Trump, the federal government, this invisible hand or this deep state. It sort of rearranges our mental model of how the world really works to remind us what is really going on we are forbidden from knowing about. And the people who promised they would let us know about it aren't doing jack. Although I guess you could say Jack is doing something about it, right? So that's your tip for today. When there's something that's important that you feel cannot be forgotten, remind people that it's not just the first most important thing, but it's the top 5 most important things. Use aggressive language, not be aggressive. Use aggressive language to remind people just how important this thing is, and reframe it as more important than the people or the issue that you would otherwise think you would be beholden to as you're under their authority. No, this issue is so important and its ramifications are so important that it is more important than anything else. And everything else is subjugated to it in terms of its significance. That's how to get attention for your cause right there.